Hello, boys and girls. Um, it is just me tonight, Rye and AB. AB's probably playing college football 25. Thank you guys for being in here. It's going to do an episode just talking about KU's roster, the entire season. And then if you guys just want to ask questions, I'm addicted to sports, so I kind of know the roster pretty well. It's kind of all I think about besides the Royals right now. So you guys can go ahead and ask questions in the chat now if you want about the roster, the depth, concerns, position groups, I guess position groups you might be worried about, games you might be worried about. I know the schedule pretty well. Ask about Arrowhead, ask about Sporting, whatever you guys got to ask. Before that, the announcement is we talked to or we finalized today, we're going to do a live show at Hollywood Casino next Thursday, a week from tonight. Obviously, the season opener against Lindenwood. We're going to do a live show at Hollywood Casino, which is a couple feet from Sporting Park, where the KU game is against Lindenwood. So, would love to meet some of you guys at Hollywood. I think it would be fun atmosphere. Going to be able to give you guys drink and food vouchers at Hollywood, and then hopefully do a couple more live shows maybe for the UNLV game. So would love to meet you guys, and I'm sure there's going to be some people coming into town for that game. So maybe gives you something to do, kill time before the game. I'm sure everyone will be nervous or just have those butterflies about the first game, the season opener. So don't know exactly what time yet. So I guess follow us on Twitter, Ain't No Seats Pod, or my is right there, bturner23. If you guys want to look at me complain about the attendance at Royals games or whatever, but we'll be able to give you guys updates about what time it is on Thursday. So thank you, Eli. So yeah, live show at Hollywood Casino. And then obviously you can just walk right over to the game or drive, but pretty convenient. It's a couple feet from that stadium. So hope to see some of you guys. We should have some guests, maybe Brandon McAnderson, maybe Haney, maybe Goff, anyone. We will definitely get a guest, and I will definitely let you guys know what time it's going to be. And we'll probably do a pod in here before. But yes, subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing. Everyone on YouTube, we are at like 985. So we're 15 away from 1,000. I'm here to talk about Kansas football. So if you guys have questions or whatever, drop them in here. Samaya Nichols, that would be cool. She's a hooper. If you guys have questions, and yes, I will. Let's go, Chris. Chris will be at the UNLV game. Love to hear that. John F on Fraud Watch. Where is John? I was going to say, our heavy listeners and diehard listeners, we got to have them at the show. So, offensive line. Yes, let's talk about the O line. I got all my notes, obviously. I would be pretty shocked if this wasn't the starting offensive line to start the year. So left tackle, Logan Brown, the Wisconsin transfer, Michael Ford at left guard, Bryce Foster should start at center. Shane Bumgardner is obviously, he's had a good camp. Bryce kind of got on campus a couple weeks ago. Kobe Baines at right guard, and then Bryce Cabledu's moving from left tackle over to right tackle. So I feel good about that. Don't really know how to say his name, Nolan Gorsiza or something. I know he's able to play both tackle spots. Someone asked about left tackle. Obviously, Calvin Clements is coming back from injury. Lawrence Kidd. But everyone around the program is super excited about him, and they have great things to say about him. Let's Go Cards asks, are we going to recover from losing Dom Pooney and Austin Booker? Very sad we lost Booker. He was a monster last year. It's kind of crazy thinking about last off season where we were asking about like pass rushers and DNs. We didn't really even talk about Austin Booker. I was talking to Brandon McAnderson about this the other night, and then season starts and he's just a monster. Week one, rest of the year. Wish we had him back. Um, Obviously, pretty good decision though. He goes and gets drafted. I think he's going to play ton of snaps for the Bears. I just had to hype up our NFL guys real quick before answering the question. And then Dom Pooney, Twitter says he was named the starting right guard for the San Francisco 49ers today, which is awesome. Huge for him, huge for the program, especially recruiting wise. He was a beast at left tackle last year for KU. The O line needed him. I mean, he was kind of an anchor, him and Nowitzki. So, yeah, it's tough to replace an NFL draft pick, but I feel good about the O line because there's experience and then there's depth too. You got Bumgardner, Clements, Daryl Simmons can play all over the line. I said Nolan. Um, so yeah, and then pass rush. You asked about Booker too. Pass rush, Jeremy Robinson will start, and then I think we have decent depth. You got Dylan Woodkey, Dean Miller will probably start at the other DN line, and then obviously everyone's heard about DJ Warner, which I'm sure someone will ask about him, so we can talk about him later. And then by Joe, Michigan State transfer, huge recruit coming out of high school. Dak Brinkley, I'd say he's a little behind DJ, but feel really good about Jeremy Robinson and all these dudes just develop and grow. I mean, Gildersleeve's been amazing. Think about Dom Pooney and Book. Book comes here for 1 year, goes to the league. Pooney gets drafted. So I am insanely confident in the staff. Like I'm a normal fan. That's kind of what I tell people. Like this is a fan podcast. So I obviously have my own worries and stuff. But at the end of the day, I just think about the staff and how they put guys in positions to succeed and they find ways to win games. I mean, it's very close to being a double digit win team last year without your top two quarterbacks at the end of the year. Like they had a legit shot to beat K State and Texas Tech. So, um, who's our kicker going to be? I don't know if I know the answer to that. I know it was a race. I last I heard was Weinrich, Charlie Weinrich from the area. If Bryce has Tabor Allen, I guess I'd trust him. I love Bry. I trust things he says. He knows people within the program. I could probably find that out after the pod. Um, any other questions you guys have? I can go live for as long as you guys want. I wanted to get the announcement out and I want to talk about this season. We're 7 days away from the season opener against Lindenwood. I can't stop thinking about that today. Football season has came here quick. I've been very spoiled with the Chiefs, so their seasons somehow always end in February, and then backup QB. Probably need to ask around more, but they love Cole Ballard. Like everyone kind of uses that title with him of how he was a preferred walk on, but they really do love him. But the things the players say about Zeke is just like mind blowing. And I met Zeke Sunday for the first time, and I was blown away from a character standpoint. He's the most polite, nicest kid you could ever meet. So I'm insanely excited about him as a player and person at KU over the next few years. And yeah, the current freshman, and then just talking to Kobe and Dev, talking about Zeke, like he's a player. He can move. He's good on his feet, and he can make a lot of the throws. So I'm very excited about Zeke. I think he'll eventually be the backup, um, maybe in the first few weeks. And I know it was a battle at camp, so I'm not 100% sure. I know the depth chart comes out soon. He could be the backup. I definitely need to find out more. Okay, next question is more likely 5-7 or 12-0. The diehard fan in me and how um, I just pinned that question. Diehard fan of me and how high of hopes I have with this roster and this coaching staff. I'd say 12-0. I mean, 5-7 would take. I still think this team could go bowling without a healthy JD. Like I really do. I think the staff's that good. I think the roster is really deep, and I think the schedule's favorable. So I'm going to take my chances of JD playing a full season, and I I realistically, if he's healthy, I think they win 10 games. And I'm not going to 100% confidently say there's a team on the schedule that's absolutely going to beat them. So I would say 12-0, which is crazy, but we are preseason ranked. Um, we talked about it last week. Like, what games are we for sure going to be dogs in? K State, maybe West Virginia, but I think that's probably it. And you might not be a dog at West Vaughn. I guess we'll see how they look early in the year. They play Penn State. Let's see. Prediction pod before the Lindenwood game. Um, we are, I don't know if you were in here, Eli, but we're doing a live show at Hollywood Casino for that game. So I think we'll do one there. I don't know a ton about Lindenwood, but I'm sure I can find something out. Thoughts on the freshman, DJ Warner, Dak Brinkley. So let's go over some of the freshmen that are making some noise. Obviously, Zeke Marshall, he's the future. He's a stud off the field. You got Harry Stewart, who I think could be in line for some reps. I think it could be the third string running back. I know we got Sevion Morrison, but I think that's kind of been a battle for as far as the third string running back goes. Obviously, you got Dev and Deuce Highshaw, which I got to remind the people, Deuce Highshaw wearing number 9 this year. Looks weird. He's been here for a while, but he's wearing number 9. So if you see a running back that's wearing number 9 getting carries, that's who it is. Jalen Todd, cornerback. He's definitely made noise at camp. I think he'll get some playing time this year. Obviously, you got Kobe, you got Mello, Demarius McGee from LSU, but I think Jalen Todd has a really bright future at KU. Like that's a guy I would absolutely buy stock in. Very confident in him. Hearing really good things about him. DJ Warner, you asked about him. That um, I couldn't be more excited about a player, and I've never been this excited about a freshman at KU in my entire life. I I'm trying to think. I mean, you guys can name some guys we've got out of high school, and I guess maybe you can name them, and I don't know if they would play right away, but like DJ's gonna play. And like I said, Jeremy Robinson's one of the starting DNs, Dean Miller probably on the other side, but DJ, I mean, the things people say about him is just it's crazy. And obviously his pedigree coming out of high school. I mean, this is a guy that he visited for the KU State game, and both Michigan and Ohio State were, I mean, they were trying very hard to get him to that Michigan Ohio State game the following week, and DJ turned that down and signed with KU, obviously. So he had the offers, could have went anywhere, wanted to come here because he loved the staff and thought he could play early. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to see plenty of reps. I had a former KU player went to practice the other day, and I texted him and I said, "What'd you think about practice? Like, who stood out to you?" And he immediately texted me DJ Warner for sure. And so it's just everything I've been hearing at camp that everyone's saying, like, DJ's going to be a monster. I don't know if he'll have a crazy year this year, but going forward, like I said, I've never been this excited about a freshman at KU. So this is a guy that our fans swear they need to come and play, take care of our guys, get them paid, show up to NIL events. Because like the way tampering works these days and how other schools are trying to get players and offer bags, like we got to keep our guys happy and keep them around because Lance is, I mean, you guys know Lance is building something. Um, and then, yeah, Dak Brinkley, I think he's a little behind DJ, but future's obviously bright there. So pass rushing, we're going to be set for the next few years. Austin Alexander's another name I would say at corner. I don't know if we'll play this year, but I'm excited. Last freshman John Kamara, I think he's the biggest sleeper on the roster in my mind. Like, I think this guy, he could turn into like an all-American type linebacker in a couple of years if he figures everything out on the field. He's that athletic, desert edge kid, went to high school with DJ, John Kamara. I don't know if he'll play this year. I don't think he'll play this year, but eventually, I mean, sideline to sideline, he's stupid athletic. Next question, Gabe Essler, confidence in the linebacker room. Can't lie, this is the position group I'm the most worried about. Um, I I like the guys that are starting, but I'm very worried about depth. If there were to be an injury to one of the starters or a couple of them, I'd be pretty nervous. I think Cornell Wheeler is going to start at the mic. He'll be the guy making the calls on defense. That was Rich Miller last year. I'm insanely confident in him. Michigan transfer, super athletic, definitely more athletic than Rich was. The Will linebacker, JB Brown. Anyone you talk to on the defense is super excited about him. I think he could be one of the best players on the defense this year. I think the whole defensive unit is underrated, really. I think everyone looks at the star power on offense. JD, Dev, all three receivers are back, but the defense is loaded too. Like you have Kobe, who's going to be a draft pick. Mello, first team Big 12 preseason, or he's preseason first team All Big 12, and then I guess we'll get to the rest of the secondary later. But linebacker JB Brown, the Hawk linebacker, I don't know who's going to start there really. Jason Gilliam's back. Could see him starting. I don't think we're very deep at linebacker. I could be wrong there. You guys can correct me if I am. I'm just worried about the depth there. Like Taiwan Berryhill is a guy that could play the will, or he could play another linebacker spot, but we've been waiting for him to contribute on the field for a while now, and it just hasn't translated. I think he has the ability to do it, but they need some guys in that room to step up. So if I had to pick a position group that I'm the most worried about, I definitely say the linebackers. But like I said, I think the starters are capable. Cornell and JB. Jay Baller says I'll take two corners, Kobe and Mello. I'll take our corners, Kobe and Mello. Absolutely, dogs. Would you would you take missing a bowl game this year but ending the K-State streak? I don't think so, honestly. That might sound crazy because it's 15-year streak, but I feel like missing out on a bowl game would be a major setback for the program. I know some of the bowls stink and they don't really get you excited, but it would be the first time in program history that they made three in a row. That's a good question, though. They made three in a row, but I still think the goal should be Big 12 title. And I think if you lose to K State, you still have a chance because there's a lot of winnable games on the schedule. Like you have two of your four road games are at BYU, at Arizona State. So, should I beat K State? Would you rather beat K State and somehow still not make Big 12 title, or lose to K State but make? Yeah, I kind of just covered that. John Doe, 30 seniors this year. Are you worried about next season? It is absolutely something I think about all the time. Yeah, you lose Kobe, you lose Mello, you lose OJ, you lose Marvin, Jeremy Robinson, JD, Dev, Highshaw, Arnold Grim Skinner. Like you guys know how much we lose. I was talking to Brandon about this the other day, and I asked him that exact question, and he said, and we know he's the biggest KU homer. We'll have him on hopefully beginning of next week or at the live show next week. But he said, I'm honestly more excited because think about the players. Think about what the players turned into when Leipold took over. Like you look at that video when Leipold's talking to the guys on the field, they look skinny. They look like kids. We talked about this last week, and now look what they turn into. Every single player. I mean, everyone develops. But like I said, we have two draft picks. Marvin Grant, I know he transferred. He's gotten better. OJ, Mello, Kobe. I know we'll lose a lot, but they also can sell playing time in the portal. And also, if they go bowling or make a noise for the Big 12 title, they can make noise too. So they'll have plenty of open spots, especially at receiver. That's probably the one thing I'm worried about because they don't have a ton of depth behind them. Like I know Trevor Wilson. I don't know how all of us feel about him, but he's a senior too. So you lose probably your top four receivers, and then you got like Caden Kubeka back next year. But I think they could get some receivers in the portal. And Lance is just so good. Like I know they might not be national title contenders next year, but or like college football Big 12 title contenders, but he'll find a way in the portal. The staff is so good. Like I think the freshmen and younger guys, sophomores, whatever, they'll grow this season and be ready to go next year. Like I know what Lance will turn these players into and Gildersleeve. We just have to keep them around. I'm not trying to scare you guys. Like I feel good about them staying. It just you got to keep this staff together. Ooh, Stewart. Jay Baller says Harry Stewart equals High Shaw 2.0. Harry Stewart's had a really good camp. They love Harry Stewart, freshman. I mean, think about the role he might be in next year, depending on what they do in the portal. Sevy's gone, Deuce, Devin Neal, like Harry Stewart could be the starter. And I think he's in line to get reps this year. I think he could be the third string running back, maybe Sevy because he's older. Honestly, is Sevy a senior? I should know this, but maybe he redshirted. I know he came from Nebraska the last few years. I love Jake Brown. Loved that. Bright as shit. Johnny Thompson, yes, that's the running back. He'll probably play next season. So yeah, we do have depth behind those seniors we lose. But Bry said JB is crazy. Okay, more Bry about JB. Yeah, that is what the players on defense tell me, and KU writers and people around the program. Why does AB suck at kicking in college football 25? I don't know, but I guess he found a view to where he can make kicks. Did you take beating K-State in football this year, but getting swept? God, we wouldn't hear the end of it. That is a pretty good question. Casey Ohlert says, would you take beating K-State in football this year, but getting swept by K-State in basketball? They haven't beat us in Allen since what? Early Bill Self days, 06? But we haven't beat them in football in 15 years. And it would be in Manhattan. I'd take football. Like I can deal with regular season basketball losses. It would suck. It'd be annoying, but give me a win in Manhattan where we're 7-0 and we move to 8-0, and then we beat Iowa State. Also worried about Commodore, or the Commodore. Great band. Between the offensive line, a lot of new pieces. There is a lot of new pieces. I was talking to former player the other night about this actually, because Bryce moves from left tackle to right. You lost Nowitzki, who's kind of the anchor on the line. You got a new left tackle for Dom Pooney with Logan Brown. Yeah, I mean, if Bryce Foster can step up as kind of a leader and an anchor on the offensive line, I'd feel good. And I think they'll be fine. Like Lance and the staff. I just feel good about the offense. Like you have all the pieces back. I'm not even going to go in with a mindset about JD getting hurt. And this isn't just hyping up JD, but you guys should hear the stuff. Well, it's not really a shock to fans, but you guys should hear the stuff people are saying about JD at camp. Like literally constant. He looks incredible. He looks amazing, which that's why I said it will shock our fans because when he plays, you guys know he's unreal. And then obviously Dev and the receivers are back. So I feel good. Besides K-State game, which game is most important? I want to say at Westphal because it's the first Big 12 game. And so obviously it's the first road game too. It's tough. It probably is Westphal because that's how you started off. I would say Iowa State, but like, what if our record isn't what we thought it'd be? What if there's been injuries? Iowa State, I want to say because we know what that crowd's going to look like. Their fans are going to be there. And this is like a test to our fans, but like our fans really, we got to step up this year and buy out the stadium because obviously they talked about reducing capacity at the new stadium. We heard complaints. but we got to give Goff and those guys a reason to expand the stadium. So if we have a chance to pack Arrowhead this year and not let Iowa State fans take over, like I think that game's going to be a huge testament to the team and our fan. Like we got to start. Our fans are like there. I feel like we're almost there. But this is, I mean, this has to be. I'll talk about this next week with BMAC, but this has to be the most anticipated KU football season. Definitely in my life, and let maybe after the Orange Bowl, but I think it might be the most anticipated ever. So like we should pack out Arrowhead, give them a home field advantage. Like if there's a year, this has to be the year. Everyone's back. Devin Neal, hometown kid, came back just to win. Like our fans should be all in. New OC scares me a little. Jeff Grimes, new OC, was obviously at BYU and Baylor. I expect Dev to be more involved in the passing game, and that's kind of what he wanted to do coming out of high school. Like that was one of his selling points to coaches is his ability to catch the ball, and he only has like 300 receiving yards or 400 in his career here. I just think we could use him more. I feel like Kotelnicki was amazing. Like I loved watching our offense, but I feel like, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the screen game wasn't used at all with running backs. I know like Highshaw had one, I believe, when the announcer went crazy against Duke, but that might have been just a pass in the flats. Wesley says, love the solo pod. Thank you, brother. I just a week till the first game. It's crazy. And I can't be more excited. There's no way any of you can make me more excited. I was there and then I talked to BMAC and then I went to the NIL event the other night with Haney, Leipold, Goff, like, and now it's you can't get me more excited. Yeah, they should be. I think they should be fine against Colorado. I think that's. I guess we'll see when we get there, but that should be a good matchup for us because obviously Shader is going to try to air it out, and our secondary's lights out. Like if someone, we can talk about the secondary later or now, but if someone asks a question, I'll answer it. But I mean, Mello and Kobe, but I feel really good about the depth there at corner, and I feel really good about safety too if they stay healthy. Foster is huge. Talking about Bryce Foster, Foster is huge and he can block two positions at the same time. They did say that Bryce Foster and Shane Bumgarner could play both guard spots and center. So yeah, if guys do go down or they want to play both, they're capable of playing guards. So if you're worried about Grimes, realize he made Zach Wilson a first round quarterback, says Eli. Yeah, BYU's offense was nasty. That was, I mean, Zach Wilson, what, number 2 pick in the draft? That they were super fun to watch. What do you think the games at Children Mercy will be like? Only 18K capacity. I don't know. That came from Chris. Chris, I don't know if you're from the area or where you're from. So I don't know if you've ever seen a Sporting KC game, but I mean, it'll be jam packed and our fans will be incredibly loud. I know it's only 18,000, but it'll be loud in there and I can't wait. If anyone's in here late, we announced we're doing a live show at Hollywood Casino next Thursday before the game. Stadium's right down the block from Hollywood Casino. You guys can come up there. We play sports bets together. Don't take my advice because I stink, but I'd love to meet you guys. Like for real, like most of you guys I see in here, you guys are in here every time. I love that shit. But yeah, I feel good about it. I'm nervous about Arrowhead just because the Iowa State game. And honestly, TCU and Houston are not very appealing. And so I'm interested to see what our fans do for like that Houston game. Cause Houston's not going to bring fans. Houston's not going to be very good. They're near the bottom of the Big 12. They might be last in odds to win the Big 12 title, bastard. So it might not the spread. I could see it being a double digit spread, people not wanting to show up. I'm interested to see that crowd. And then who knows what kind of year Colorado has, but their fans could travel too. But our fans should be up for that game. I mean, they have a ton of star power. Les Miles was the coach of this team. How many games are we winning? I don't know if Les would know the names of the players or the score at all times. So not many. The guy took play calling duties away from Dearman after beating Boston College as 17-point dogs, where Khalil Herbert and Puka Williams, which we forget how good Puka was. I mean, Christ, had 200 rushing yards each. Took him away from Dearman. That is smart. Great guy. Jay Baller, how do you how do you think student attendance will be this season with our games at Arrowhead? Nervous about it. I really am. I know a lot of like when the games were in Lawrence, I would always have friends or family that didn't want to drive 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. You get hammered, you can't drive. And I get it, but we need our student. I mean, that's obviously your core crowd. We sold out a ton of games the last few years, and obviously a major reason is the students. So we need the students at the games like more than anything. And I hope some of you in here are KU students and you guys spread the word and make your friends get there and whoever. But I just I feel like the team and the staff have spoken for themselves for fan attendance. Like this went from the worst program in the country to college football playoff Big 12 title talks in a couple of years. I would I definitely would spend my Saturday watching them. And two, I mean, you got some of the best players in the country on offense, first off. JD called me crazy, but I think he could be a Heisman candidate. Devin Neal, 600 plus yards away from being the all-time leading rusher at KU. 900 yards from being the all-purpose leader at KU, like 6 touchdowns from having the most ever. Yeah, I'd be there. Which D lineman do you trust the most to replace the production of Austin Booker? I think our best DN will be Jeremy Robinson, but the one with the most potential is DJ. I think DJ could have a huge year this year. Might take a little bit, but by Big 12 play, yeah, DJ's a monster. Our secondary is nasty, but it's going to be even better with the edges we got. Secondary is going to eat. Yes. I think people are nervous about edge, and I get it because Booker's gone, but these guys, the way these guys develop and Gildersleeve gets them right. I got to post the video of Devin talking about Gildersleeve, but he is so important to this program. It's not even funny. Dean Miller's had a great camp too at D end. So I think he'll be the starter week 1. And then, yeah, you got DJ, By Job, Dak Brinkley, Dylan Wudke transferred in, Cole Petras. I think we'll be fine. And yeah, our corners will be able to cover. So getting home quickly, our edges, that's huge. I mean, not trying to be Mr. Obvious, but our secondary's fire. And if a guy were to go down, don't want that to happen. You got Jalen Todd, they love, Demarius McGee, Jameel Croft, Brian Dilworth, Austin Alexander could probably step up. How many KU players get selected in the 2025 draft? Johnny Boy, my guy. Thank you for being in here. That's a hell of a question. And it's a tough one. But God, that is tough. JD, Dev, Kobe. God, who else is a borderline draft pick, boys? I just I don't know who's a pro and who's not. Who am I missing? JD. If JD stays healthy for sure, who knows if not. I'm planning on him staying healthy and he looks incredible at camp. Like from what people are saying. I haven't been there. Please invite me. Devin Neal will get drafted. Kobe, I think Kobe and Dev will go first 3 rounds, if not 4. Yeah, Melo could get drafted. LJ Arnold. I mean, Cable do maybe. He's played left tackle. Now if he plays well at right tackle, he can prove he can play all over the line. Logan Brown was a 5-star, but he hasn't played yet. I mean, 3 for sure. Coach Sleeve, KC Sports Authority. Coach Sleeve, most underrated non-head coach in college football. I'm gonna have to tweet that. I'm gonna have to tweet that clip tonight of Dev if I have time, if it's not too late. If you guys hear Dev and Neil talk about Gildersleeve, you guys will be like, whoa. Obviously, you guys know him and how vital he is to the program, but the stuff he said about making guys better people off the field and how I just have to tweet it, but it's incredible. Felton Gardner signed with Texas as a grad transfer. Yes, I remember he was a pretty big recruit coming out of high school when he signed with us. Do you think Big 12 gets 2 in the CFP? That's a pretty good question. Um, obviously 1. I'll say we get 2. I'll say Utah and Kansas. Damn it, now I'm way too excited. Jason Bean slid on the 1-yard line. What game was that? God, he was so good, but sometimes you're like, dude, what are you doing? He'd throw it short of the sticks, or he'd have a clear lane to run for the first down, slide, throw into tight windows, throw into the crowd in the bowl game. God, he was so good last year, though, and the year before. I mean, if you're thinking of Kansas football players in the last, I mean, 25 years, where would you put Jason Bean for importance to KU football? I mean, you got Todd, Akib, Chris. Who else? Like, where would you put Bean? I mean, obviously plays such a key position, and the guy just took us to back-to-back bowls for the second time in program history. Like, he's going to go up in the Ring of Honor too. Let's see. Quentin Skinner. Maybe he'll get drafted. I feel like, I mean, he's made some crazy catches. He's super athletic, and I think any of those receivers could be in for a big year. I'm trying to think of Skinner from a height weight standpoint if a team would take a chance on him. Oh, Bean got hit tonight. Is he good? Said Bean got lit up at the 1-yard line. Michael Doyle at Illinois scares me for some reason. Honestly, me too. And I know we smacked them last year, and Vegas isn't very high on them this season. But God, who did they play week 1? Let me look this up. But that could go against us too, smacking them last year. I mean, that crowd will be up. And you got to think of it's crazy, KU football, but they're going to get a nice lit crowd for a ranked team. And we should be 1-0. I'd hope we beat Lindenwood. They play Eastern Illinois. They should win that. So you're 1-0. 1-0. I don't know if Bielema is coaching for his job this year. I don't really pay attention, but they obviously he hasn't exceeded expectations, and it's a night game on the road. Like Big Ten opponent on the road, night game. Their crowd is definitely going to be in it. I guess the team just got to put the crowd away. But yeah, road game. I'll be nervous no matter what. I'm interested to see what that spread will be. B-turn, will I see you in Manhattan this year? Very likely. Yeah, I could really be setting myself up for the worst drive back home of all time. Me and AB went to the KU K-State basketball game this year, and was not a great ride home. Like, it didn't like ruin our season, but you drive out there and lose. Not fun. And the stakes will be high for that one. I mean, our schedule seems pretty favorable before then. You play West Virginia, TCU could be tough, but yeah, Illinois, like I don't think I just don't see their offense moving the ball against our defense, and I feel like our offense will be able to do whatever against them. Also, with the Illinois game, circling back to that, there's a lot of KU fans I've talked to that are going to that game, and I know we have a huge fan base in Illinois or Chicago area, whatever. I don't even know where Champaign is, but there's a lot of KU fans going to that game. Tickets are less than $10, I believe. Last I heard, they were, and it'd be cool to start taking stadiums over our fan base. I mean, we have the fans, but yeah, there's a lot of KU fans going to that game. So if you guys want to make the trip too, you might as well. Michael Doyle. I hate that we aren't playing at home this year. It sucks. I mean, you don't have like, yeah, it's in Kansas City. We'll have majority of fans at all games, but yeah, you're not at home. Your home stadium, what you're used to playing in, playing on different grass. Like you don't have a true home game. So it does suck because this is supposed to be our year. And this is something I was thinking back last year, how they're all going to be seniors, but they don't get to play in Lawrence. I really hope our students make it. I don't know why I have to worry about that, but I do. I know they're talking about driving buses around the metro to pick fans up, and I'm willing to pick people up too. Like I would love, it'd be so cool to fill Arrowhead. I know some KU fans probably won't even go into the state of Missouri. What are some other position groups? What are some other games on the schedule? What are some questions about the staff, JD, any of our studs, Dev, Kobe? Any games that worry you? How many wins? Any bets? Like, I need some questions here because I don't know exactly what to talk about or where to start. I've talked about most of the roster, but I'm down to go until midnight, only 2 more hours, or just go until the game starts next Thursday. Lance, I did see someone put out today that they put out West Virginia plus 8.5 or 7.5. I haven't seen that line movement. Is that game in Morgantown? I know they played at Penn State last year because I remember losing a bet on that game, of course. Breakout candidate we aren't thinking about. Let me see here. Well, I've mentioned his name plenty of times in this pod, but I guess I'll say Dean Miller, edge, which the freshman will be competing for snaps there. DJ and maybe Dak. The others, I'd say, I think OJ. I know a lot of a lot of people pay attention to like PFF grades, and I think OJ's kind of got he's had some tough grades PFF wise. So I think that's how some people judge people on defense, but he has had one of the best camps out of anyone. So I guess yeah, we're here to talk about the safety group now. OJ and Marvin. I think Marvin might play up in the box a little more, and I'm very excited about Marvin. Um, he was he was pretty good. I mean, he was pretty good last year for KU, obviously, and I think he's going to have an even better year. So that's why I'm excited about the secondary. You got Kobe Mello, preseason first team All Big 12 guys, and then you have two really good safeties, and obviously Marvin is versatile. He's going to play the Cinco spot a little bit for KU. Um, so yeah, secondary, and then Demarius McGee, he'll be on the field too. He transferred from LSU corner. I'm really excited about him. So you got depth at corner. Safety, the Dye brothers will probably be the backups there. Jermaine Dye's kids, former Royal, World Series MVP, some say. for the White Sox. His two boys are both safeties, Jalen and Devin Dye. Most of you, I'm sure, know that. I feel like the diehards are in here. With this schedule, 10 wins or bust, Eric says. Um, that's what I said earlier. If they're healthy, I think they should go 10-2, worst case. That sounds crazy. I just like even we talk about the West Vaughn K-State games. I personally think those should be really tight games. Like, and I always say I think Leipold and the staff can find a way to steal games. And I don't even know if those would be stealing games. It's just on the road and it'll be tough. The environment will be tough, but these guys have been here. They won in Ames last year. So they're used to it. But outside of that, like I don't even know who to say is definitely going to beat us, you know? Iowa State, that'll be tough. TCU could be tough. I'm not very worried about at Arizona State or BYU. Like, yeah, we could be sleepy and not be up for those games, but I still feel like they find a way, kind of like Nevada last year. I know Nevada stunk, but I can't really say any other team is definitely going to beat us. Like Colorado, I don't think so. Houston, no. But at West Vaughn, at K State, I feel like are everyone's two games that they're worried about, and then Iowa State might be another because the crowd. Um, my buddy says West Vaughn is slept on. You worried? In Morgantown, I think it'll be a tough game, obviously, and it'll be a really good crowd. Don't know a ton on them, but I did read a story. It was like on Action Network. I just pay attention to betting too much, but they said West Virginia is like due for regression and they won a lot of games. They got lucky in a bunch of games last year is basically what it said. So I'm going with that. I gotta dig into West Virginia more. Garrett Green, like he's not gonna kill you through the air. So that might be a game where we do need the front and our linebackers to be really good because he's gonna run it a lot and they're probably gonna try to ground and pound. And yeah, it's their first Big 12 game too. So OJ is good. He will shine this year. I agree. KC Sports Authority says Marvin Grant might have a year we talk about for a long time. Yeah, Marvin and OJ. We talk about Kobe and Melo. Talk about those two as well. Would you take a KU football Big 12 championship and college football playoff berth if it meant KU goes the next 10 years without a Final Four? Oh my God. That is tough. Hold on. I got to retweet. I need more people in here. Oh man. You guys might have to answer this on your own on the side while I think. 10 years without a Final Four. I'll take KU football. I just feel like I don't know about after this year. Like I said, I feel fine, but this is our best chance to do it with the schedule. Because KU could make the Final Four the next 10 years, and it takes two more games, two more wins to win it all, obviously. And every team at the Final Four is hot. So if you said national championship, it'd be different. But I think Final Four, I'll go football. One ranked opponent on the schedule, and I don't really see any of them becoming ranked. Maybe ISU. Yeah. Iowa State was really young last year. So I can see Matt Campbell's just a good coach. Whoa, we don't want to listen to me twice. What's the next question? 10 years is a long time. Yes, it is. We won't have to worry about that with Bill. Yeah, college football playoff will be impossible to win, but Can AB even name half our football team? I should text him that or make him get on. Someone tweet at AB and tell him to join me. I don't know why. He had something tonight. I know that. But if you're late, live show at Hollywood next Thursday night. It's okay to be greedy. In January 2008, we won the Orange Bowl in the Natty. That was fun. Repeat this year? Question mark. Be pretty good at basketball. If we beat K-State Manhattan, how poppin' is Mass Street? Very. That has been a long time coming, and I've said it. That will make up for last year's loss, which we don't need to talk about, but it did happen. It would definitely make up for it if you beat them in Manhattan. Do you know QB depth chart? I don't know the exact order. If I had to guess right now, I'd just say JD, Cole Ballard, Zeke. But the things the program's saying about Zeke is out of control. Like he's going to be really good. And the current players are very high on Zeke. Like asking multiple of them and them just shaking their head, smiling. So I think we're in good hands after JD, who could come back next year if he wants. I don't think he will. Back to AB naming half our football team. I would guess no, and that's not ragging on him. Well, he does play a lot of college football, and they have their names on there. But yeah, that would be, I guess, just the older we get, it's tough to keep track, but I have to, man. I'm way too obsessed with sports. It really is embarrassing, but I don't care. We'd be obsessed with something else if we weren't obsessed with sports. What former Jayhawk of the last 20 years would you add to the squad? That's an insanely good question. God, what spots do we need? I need you guys to answer that too. I think we're good in the secondary. I'd pick a linebacker. God, there's a lot. I mean, who's been our best linebacker the last 20 years? I mean, you had like Nick Reed and those guys. You had Mike Rivera and all them on the 2008 team. Joe Deneen. Um, who's the dude from he played in the NFL, white dude with the beard. Ben Ben Heaney. Yes. Des Briscoe, what a stud, but I think we're good at receiver. Charles Gordon was electric. John Doe says Jason Bean. That's sneaky answer just because he showed last year you need a backup QB and the year before. Derek Fine at tight end. I did think about tight end, but I wasn't sure who. Lance said Nick Reed or Banks Floodman. Yes, those are the linebackers I was thinking about. Remember Steven Johnson, the linebacker? He was a tackle machine. I take a linebacker. I mean, James McClinton, but we didn't even talk about defensive tackle. We're very deep at D tackle, and we're going to just be constantly rotating bodies in and out. Derek, tight end is a sneaky good answer. I just think the offense will be fine. I'm not worried about the defense, but I would add someone on the defensive side. I'm trying to think of a D end we've had. I mean, obviously Book last year. God, if he was back, can you imagine? I'd be sitting outside of Jerry Dome in Texas waiting for Big 12 title. Charlton Keith. God, what bowl game did we win with him? We beat Houston or something. Charlton Keith was a beast. Oh my God, Charles Gordon. Dorrance Armstrong. That is a very good answer. A little D end action there. I think we'll be fine at D end, even though I asked for D end, so I'm glad you gave me that answer. I think we'll be good with Jeremy Robinson, and then Dean or one of those freshmen. I think DJ will be ready to rock pretty early in the season if he's not already. Fort Worth game, yeah, we smacked them. They're fine. Yeah, Mike Rivera, Joe Mortensen. Was it James Holt on the Orange Bowl team? God, that team was deep. I mean, you had Stuckey, Akib, Chris, and then the receivers, dude. Marcus Henry, Des Briscoe, Dexton Fields, and then Gunslinger. Des Briscoe's tough to not add, but you got Arnold Grimm, Skinner. I'll ride with those three seniors that have proved themselves. DJ Bashir's. It's a good name drop. We need everyone to just drop the most random KU football player they can think of. Wilta Still was pretty athletic. I'll never forget giving a ride home to Ben Heaney. Heaney was a beast. He said he was going to sound off on Charlie Weiss and that staff one day. Maybe we need to get him on the pod to have him talk about it. One of my good buddies is Mike Reynolds. Wore 55, defensive end. He was a beast. He's one of the better players during the dark years. And we were talking about Charlie the other night. He was good. Tobin O'Purum. I remember when he killed the Texas guy. Justin Thornton, Eric, is that who that is? Yeah, our defense was just, I feel like, slept on. I'm trying to think who was on that D line. Ooh. This is a good one. KC Sports Authority, as always. Start bench cut, Charles Gordon, Akib, Kobe. Well, I don't like I was very young with Charles Gordon, so I don't remember how like if he was on these guys' levels. I mean, you're obviously starting Akib, right? First round pick, was elite in the NFL, won multiple Super Bowls. And then, I mean, I don't know if Charles Gordon was as good as Kobe, but Kobe should get drafted this year, preseason, first team All Big 12. I don't really remember Charles Gordon's accomplishments, but yeah, Keon Sowers, the head at Mass Street Collective. Go donate. Let's take care of our players. John Cornish from Canada. That would be awesome. Our running backs are pretty fire, but God, Cornish was good, dude. It's still wild thinking about Reesing and when he made his debut, and I guess Cornish just makes me think of that. But Reesing, we'll have to tell that story someday about Todd, but just gets thrown into that Colorado game or whatever and just immediately starts doing what he did the whole career, improvising, making plays. Mo Bombas. That's pretty good. You guys need to answer these questions in the chat too, because Mo Bombas says start bench cut John Cornish, Puka Williams, James Sims. People forget James Sims is like third all time in rushing yards at KU. Super fast running back before Puka. I think I forget, but if you say it, someone in the chat will know. Yeah, this one's tough. Pearson, yeah. Tony Pearson was pretty good. Man, let's see what John Cornish did at KU. Because I mean Sims is top 3 all time, but Puka's got to be like the most electric I've ever watched. I mean, one of them, that game he had in Norman, oh my God. Yeah, I guess KU wise and like what they did, you might go Cornish over Puka, but you honestly probably got to say James Sims starts. Like those teams stunk too, and he's still one of the leading top leading rushers in KU history. Yeah, Puka, he was under him and Khalil. I mean, Khalil left, but God, him and Khalil at Boston College. I remember going into that game just thinking like, there's no way. They had AJ Dillon. We were down 17 nothing, I believe. Carter and then Carter. I think Carter Stanley will be on early next week to talk full season preview. And Carter's doing a pod this year again with Shayraz. So he's very tapped into KU football. He loves Kansas, obviously, and his final year gets forgotten. But Carter was damn good, and imagine how good he'd be under this staff. But Carter almost got him on tonight, but he'll be on early next week is the plan. I want to get as much KU football content as possible. Brandon McAnderson trucking in College Station, yes. BMAC went on a crazy run his senior year. I'd have to go look again, but he had a shit ton of touchdowns in like a 3 week span, and he rattled off a bunch of TDs in the non-con games. I miss the days of playing like 4 non-cons. Let's do that this year and just schedule like Eastern Illinois and 4 shit stains. People forget about BMAC. Maybe it's because he's so close to the program, but he was a beast senior year, dude. The offense was just so good. Angus Quigley. Oh, Quigley was Quigley the guy that killed the Texas guy, ran him over? Remember when Miles Kendrick? Is that who you're talking about? Miles Kendrick? That was Bry's boy. John Randall was so good, man. He's got his son or whatever, I think was a big recruit out of Wichita. I don't know if he's signed yet, but good genes. John Randall, it's a beast. Yeah, we beat K-State and Lawrence. That was so cool. I remember that vividly. Jake Sharp, yeah, him and Brandon McAnderson in the backfield. I hope we can do something like that team did this year. I think they can. Why not? Like honestly, why can't KU have the best offense in the Big 12? That's kind of what I've been thinking. You have the pieces, all the receivers. You got a elite duo at running back plus Harry Stewart and Sevi, JD. I'd take him over any QB in the conference. I don't care. Shader, sure, but I'll take JD. I'm trying to think of other offenses. Obviously, Rising's back for Utah. K-State, Avery Johnson, DJ Giddens. UCF could be okay. They got KJ Jefferson, RJ Harvey. Malzahn obviously has had some electric offenses. Who else am I missing? Oklahoma State, Ollie Gordon. Their quarterback's back. Here's one thing I wanted to talk about betting wise. So, sitting on DraftKings earlier and going through college football tabs, there's conference leaders on there. And so I went to the Big 12, I went to the rushing leaders, and this was the list for rushing leaders and the odds. Devin Neal, very first name, plus 350. Ollie Gordon, who was pretty good last year. He's on people's like top 10 lists for best players throughout college football. I mean, you guys saw Ollie last year. Taj Brooks, plus 550. DJ Giddens, plus 600. RJ Harvey at UCF, plus 600. So I think it's crazy that DK thinks Dev has a pretty good shot to lead the Big 12 in rushing. But why doesn't, and I know Ollie had it like he was unreal last year and he deserved all the awards and whatever. But why does Ollie and even Taj Brooks? I saw someone have Taj Brooks as a top 5 back in the country on their list the other day. No Devin Neal mention. Ollie Gordon on ESPN's top 10 players list, every position. But Neal has the same odds to lead the Big 12 in rushing, and he's ahead of Taj and a couple other studs. So why doesn't Devin Neal get the national buzz? And why is Devin Neal's like 26 to 1 to win? I forget what, Doak Walker Award, best running back in the country. And Ollie's like, I'll be wrong on this. I don't know what Ollie's odds are. He's the favorite, I believe. He's like 3 to 1 or something. So they have Neal as the same odds to lead the Big 12 in rushing, which KU's, I would say, just as good as Oklahoma State, probably could win as many, if not more games. But he doesn't get the national respect. He's not even on like a top 100 players list when he's going to be a top 100, 150 draft pick. Crazy. Devin Neal's so good. Stayed home. First off, he stayed home out of high school when we stunk ass. Second off, coaching change while he's here. Could have left. Could have transferred. Nearly transferred, probably. Met with Leipold, said he was great. He was all in. Should have left last year. And I hate saying that, but running back, their shelf lives don't last very long. Probably should have went pro, but he came back to play and win. It's just, he's incredible. And I want the nation to understand how good he is. I know we know. We watch him every Saturday, but come on. I mean, high shot going to poach the goal line. How many touchdowns did Dev have last year? Because he's about to be our all-time. He's about to have the most touchdowns in KU history, and he hasn't caught many. So, yeah, 16 rushing touchdowns last year for Dev. 6.3 a carry. 6.3 a carry. What a beast. Oh, one of my favorite someone said Miles Kendrick. Michael Cummings, I loved. Thought he was good. B-Turn, how's the golf game looking? I haven't been playing much. I was playing a lot, going to the range a lot, and then it started really getting in my head, thinking about like 10 things at once while I'm standing over the ball. Went and played one morning, played like absolute dog shit, and then I played later that afternoon at like 4:50 at Sycamore, and it's probably the second best round of my life. So haven't played since. And golf is it's crazy, but I'm still obsessed and I want to play every day. I just haven't been making it happen. Did you see what OSU is doing with the QR codes? Yes. Which is kind of crazy. Are they going to be able to scan the helmets from the stands, or I don't know a ton about that situation, but I've been saying to put the QR code on the Jumbotron or something after someone makes a big play. We got to get our NIL right. It is good, but can always be better. 600 yards away. I forget the exact total, but I think it's under that. He told me the exact number the other day. $764. Yeah. 764 to tie, 765 to be the all-time leading rusher at KU. And it's not like he had an extra year or anything. He came in as a true freshman and pretty much balled out, and we weren't very good. Now look at us. 765 to break it. I would say if he plays a full season, he should do that. I think he'll have like 1,500 yards, and he'll be a threat in the passing game more. Yeah, I do. I like the QR codes. I don't know if they said it's on their helmet, right? Like, how are people going to be able to scan that? Get up close to the sideline or through your TV? I guess, yeah, maybe they show the back of the helmet on TV. I'm always trying to think of NIL ideas for KU. So if you guys ever come up with any, I don't even care if it sounds stupid in your head. Like, I want to be able to get any player in the country we can get. Why not? Every player's helmet on the table at bars. I love that. Dude, there's got to be more ways to get these guys money. Like our freshman class is insane, and obviously none of them have even said or thought about leaving. But like the stuff these SEC schools can come in and offer, we just got to keep them happy and take care of them. What else have we not talked about? Talked about JD, talked about Dev, probably too much. The receivers, talked about. Trevor Wilson's a guy that's had a good camp. I know we might not be huge fans. I mean, he made me mad once. He made me mad. But I'm all for a senior who's been with Leipold stepping up and having a decent year, even if it is as a punt returner or breaking long plays. Trevor Wilson. So yeah, that's four seniors right there. LJ, Luke Grimm, Q Skin, Trevor Wilson. Tight end, Trevor Cardell, Jared Casey. I'm sure Casey will be used. He's made some big catches, I've heard. Cardell will probably be the starter. I guess defensive tackle. I talked about that earlier. No one's asked. I think that's the sleeper group, like position group that I think will surprise. And that's why I feel fine about stopping the run. You got DJ Withers, Tommy Dunn, Caleb Taylor, Keenan Caldwell, Javier Darrett, Marcus Calvin, Blake Harold. I'm probably missing more, but they're just going to constantly be rotating bodies in there. And I think the defensive tackles will be fine. Withers is a beast. Tommy Dunn's a monster. What other question? Do we have any other questions, boys? I can see myself getting hammered throwing down a Husky for my boys. Tight end from Eudora. Is it Jaden Ham? Lance, I believe. I actually heard there's been noise on moving him to defense. Or that he was pretty effective defensively in high school, at least at Eudora. Tight end, yeah, and obviously they got that transfer tight end. What's his nuts brother? That went to K State. How am I forgetting his name? Yeah, I'm down to talk basketball too. I'm just, God, 7 days at midnight, or it's 6 days and some hours now to Town Hawk. Please tell me they will still use Casey in the passing game. I would imagine. Yeah, Leighton Kerr, they got him. Grimes seems to like Leighton Kerr. He's been kind of, I don't know if you guys have listened to Grimes talk, but he's been kind of on the tight end's ass talking about them. I think he just expects a lot out of all the guys on offense. Maybe that's just how he is. Clements, Wichita, Town Hawk. We love Wichita. We did that card show this weekend, memorabilia show, and there was a bunch of vendors set up for Wichita and a bunch of people that traveled. And every time we sell hoodies, there's like 15 or 20 people from Wichita, and or I'll have someone from my roommates in college were all from Wichita, and they'll text me and be like, I just saw an Ain't No Seats shirt so they show us a ton of love. I love Wichita. My whole family grew up there too. A lot of KU fans. How's Clemens looking? The whole program and all the players love him as a person and a player. I think he's still coming back from injury. Um, but yeah, he's going to be a player and he'd be ready to step up if we needed him. I would think they still use Casey in the passing game. I can't really give you like a definitive answer, but they have for the last few years, and he's obviously got hands. Um, are you talking about David Coit basketball? I'm down. You guys can ask me basketball questions too, if you guys want. We've kind of covered all the position groups, the schedule, one betting thought I had. How we're going 12-0. David Coit. Yeah, he averaged 20 plus at Northern Illinois. And I mean, how can you say no to depth and a guy that averaged 20? He's not going to have to jack or force a bunch of shots. And he obviously won't be, defenses won't be locked in on him with all the scores we have. Got AJ Storr, Rylan Griffin. We got shooters off the bench too. Zeke, I think Zeke's going to have a year. I think he's one of the biggest X factors, and I think he's an absolute stud. So yeah, Coit. I mean, we were already deep. Now you add him. He obviously lost El Marco for the season, but that's a pretty big addition this late in the offseason. Guy that averaged 20 plus, can shoot. He's going to have open looks if he plays, because I think the spacing should obviously be better this year. I don't know how much KJ is going to play. Like I would think their minutes go down a little bit. Him and Juan, and they're going to play plenty, but there's going to be times where we have four shooters on the floor, and you can't double any of them. Jalen Heisman and KU title. I don't mind JD Heisman. I think, what is he, 30-1? Or to Town Hawk? I can always get that in for you. We can line shop on all the books. I wonder what his best odds are out in the market. If JD plays a full season, I'm not saying he will, but why couldn't he make Heisman noise? He was making noise the year we had game day against TCU. It's not like he was like a favorite, but he was on lists. And we have the three receivers. I don't know what Grimes' offense is going to look like, but Zach Wilson, wasn't he a Heisman finalist? Yeah, I wouldn't take us to win the national title, but we could win the Big 12 title. Braden, my boy Braden, took JD Heisman and KU to win Big 12. Yeah, Lance, they like Shaq more. He's a dog, plays hard, and gives us backcourt depth for sure. He'll see minutes. The receivers love Grimes. Braden, I haven't even asked about that or heard that, so that's amazing to hear. I supposedly they weren't happy with Kotelnicki, but oh well. I mean, God, those receivers balled out in that freaking bowl game that took 6 hours to complete. He was a soaker. Tyler Bowles, any sports betting updates in Missouri? It's going to be on the ballot, right, guys? Local guys? I'm pretty sure it'll be available for vote coming up. Because, God, that shit pisses me off. I'll be at the Big 12 tournament or Arrowhead or Kaufman, and I got to bet with my bookie instead of like using all the books. Good Lord. I'm a degenerate. I can't go without it. There's still 27 in here. It's not bad. JD stays healthy. That QB matchup versus Shader could, yeah. I'm interested. I need to look at Colorado's schedule a little more. I wonder what they could potentially be going into that game. I know they got K-State at home. They play at Nebraska. I think Colorado's like win total's like 5.5. So I'm wondering what they could be coming in. But yeah, Shea Dur's stud. Him versus JD would be fun. I think our I just think our offense would be able to do whatever against them. And I don't think you can just air it out on our corners. Melo and Kobe are gangsters. Last year, KU averaged 26 pass attempts per game. Think it'll be above 30. I'd have to look into Grimes' offenses more and kind of ask around before I had a legit answer to that. Just 'cause I don't know, because I guess game script is important. We should be favorites in most games. Dev could be a bell cow. So if we're up all game, I don't know if we'll be airing it out. If we had a bad defense, I could see us throwing it a lot, but I think our defense is fine. Travis Hunter can only guard one person. That's true. God, he'll probably go first round, top 10, right? And then, yeah, we got to worry about him on offense, but you got the corners. Melo's the CB to watch this year, little hiding in the spotlight of Kobe. Yeah, Melo, first team preseason All Big 12. That's pretty high praise. Obviously, Kobe gets the national attention as good. But yeah, I'd love for Melo to have a year and get drafted. And Melo's quiet dude, just goes about his business. I love the DBs on this team. What are some other games? Do you guys have any worries about the UNLV game at Sporting? I need to look at them a little more. But 3-0, they should be 3-0 going to West Fa, and then we'll all be up for that game. A lot of chatter about the kid from LSU playing the nickel. Yeah, Demarius McGee. He will play plenty. Yeah, Braden, he came to the card show this weekend and signed for the fans. And he's very respectful, nice kid, but yeah, he doesn't talk much, which isn't a problem. Everyone has their own personality. He was cool. He was good with the fan. Kobe was so good with the fans. Like this weekend, I've never met Kobe, so he was, man, Kobe kind of blew me away. He was so cool, and I've never seen someone that good with the fans. Like just the way he interact and carry on conversations. I was so impressed with him. And not, you guys know Dev. Dev was so good with the fans. Basketball questions, football. We're almost at an hour 30. I'll go as long as you guys want. 28 people in here still. If you guys have any random comments, you can comment about AB. Reminder, we have a live show at Hollywood Casino next Thursday. Follow me on Twitter or the pod, Ain't No Seats Pod. And we'll give you guys, well, because I got to figure out what time we start. But I need you guys to be there because we've done a live show before and we didn't really promote it or tell people, but we need people there. And I think we're going to have a cool guest or two. So if you guys came out and supported us, that would be amazing. Like, and Hollywood definitely wants a good crowd. So we'll be right by the sports book in Hollywood, I believe. Be cool to meet some of you guys. First round draft pick, I would say, God, guys, who would have the best chance? I mean, running backs don't go very early. I don't think there was a first rounder this year, so I don't know. And people are higher on other NFL backs than Dev, or college backs going into the NFL than Dev. I would guess Dev's third. JD would have to have a crazy year. Probably not good enough size. I mean, if there's anyone that goes in the first, it had to be Kobe, right? A corner, and he just absolutely balls out. I don't. I think he's like mocked in third rounds. I know it's freaking August, but can't see a running back going in the first. Can't see JD, and yeah, it'd have to be Kobe if I had to pick. Yes, you can watch us and gamble. We'll put some bets in. I just think people are going to be in the area already. Like people are going to be, I would assume, driving from a couple hours away or whatever, and they'll be in KC. That'd give them something to do until the game. Come see us at Hollywood, and we'll be talking KU football. So I we got drink and food vouchers to give to everyone. Yeah, I don't think anyone will go in the first, but yeah, that's why Kobe I think would be the guy if there's anyone goes in the first. Like he's already being mocked in the third. Like I said, it's only August, and he's already got the high praise, first team preseason All Big 12. He goes off and he's in finalists for awards at the end of the year, whatever. Who knows? Corner can be random. And yeah, teams do take shots on QBs too. I mean, God, I've seen some desperate picks on quarterbacks. Hopefully, my Chiefs won't have to worry about that for a while. I wouldn't think so. Jackson Mahomes' brother's pretty good. Crabtree, I feel that. You'll have to get up for a game this year, though. Hopefully, doing a live there for the UNLV game, too, which I think more people are excited about that game. But we kind of need a good turnout and the show to go well for another live show, it sounds like. So I hope you guys are there. Basketball predictions. Our schedule's crazy and exciting. Should be preseason one. I just think I think they addressed all the needs and all the worries fans and the staff had about the team. Obviously, you needed shooters, needed better spacing, and they go get AJ Store. They go get Rylan Griffin, Zeke Mayo's hit 90 plus threes the last 2 seasons. Coit has showed the ability to make threes. Shaq Moore can shoot here and there. It's spacing. Let Hunter control the entire paint. Have 4 shooters out there. I think Juan is capable too. I know Juan's capable of shooting it. Question for you. Sorry. Question for you about national media podcast guys. In your opinion, do they do their own research about KU or mostly just copy paste? I'm so sick of hearing about JD won't make it all season. Yeah. I don't know if you're asking me if I do my own research, but I definitely do. Um, yeah, the JD injury thing it's tough for me. We talked about it last week. Like, yeah, he hasn't played a full season, but I think injuries can be a fluky thing too, right? Like, I'm not just gonna go into the season saying JD is gonna play so and so games. Like he's the starting quarterback. He's healthy right now. Sure, he could get hit. He could land on something wrong. He could get hit late. Something could happen. He could get hurt. Everyone in the field could. I'm not gonna label him an injury prone guy. And I think my expectations are for him to play the whole season. And he wants to go pro, right? He's played games, he's looked good. You got to put more on film, I would say. And I would guess his dreams are to play in the NFL, I would hope. I'm not even gonna think about injury. So yeah, like I get that question though, because every opposing fan base you talk to about KU, what do they say? Well, your season relies on Jalen Daniels. Yeah, he's not gonna play the full season. How do you know? National guys repost other content a lot, in my opinion. Local guys do their research. UNC and Iowa State. Wow, that's on the same weekend. We play UNC in basketball and Iowa State in football same weekend. And UNC that's at Allen this year, right? Wow, that'll be a weekend. I still want to go to Vegas for Duke, but I don't. That game doesn't mean a ton to me, even though I want to beat them. Beautiful thing about the Iowa State game is we have a bye the week before. Like if we beat K State and then we have the bye, can you imagine the buildup for those 2 weeks? You get a week off, even as fans, we get some time off after the K State win and re-energize, refocus, and then Arrowhead 70,000. We're getting in fist fights with Iowa State fans. Boy, they're gonna trigger me. Chiefs play the Broncos. That should be a dub. They made it tough on us last year, but Bo Nix. Yeah, that is. I don't. Is that a new thing with 2 bye weeks? I don't. We have a bye after Arizona State, and then we play Houston, and then at K State, week off Iowa State, at BYU, Colorado at Arrowhead, at Baylor. So honestly, I talked about half the road games. You got four. No, 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 no. Yeah, I guess over half the. You got 5 Big 12 road games. I'd say over half of those games, 3 of the 5 are against teams that at least Vegas thinks are going to finish near the bottom of the league. Arizona State, BYU, and Baylor. Like people think Baylor's staff could get canned during the season. Dave Aranda and them. I mean, the last 3 games you would think favorable at BYU, Colorado at home, at Baylor. Imagine, can you imagine being 9-0 going into those 3 and we lose all of them? Get spacing about a month apart. Man, it would be cool to win in Manhattan. I heard nothing but good things about Avery since he was in high school at wherever in Wichita. I just wonder if he'll have any growing pains this year at all. First full year as a starter. I mean, that's a good program, but I wonder if he'll have some tough moments. He's pretty gifted on his feet too. Arrowhead parking lot, Iowa State game might be most tracked. Yeah. Yeah. That is why I said earlier that our fans really got to step up, especially for that game, because I'm telling you guys, Iowa State fans are trying to take over Arrowhead for that game. Like, that's not really shocking or breaking news because that's just what they do. They're so bored. They have nothing to do. Look at them at the Big 12 tournament every year. They're once I might get in trouble for talking about it, but once single game tickets go on sale, you'll see. So I hope our fucking fans step up because I can't deal with that shit. Half the stadium full of red and yellow, whatever they are. So I hope you guys are ready. I would love for our fans to buy season tickets and be ready to get single game seats against Iowa State because they're waiting for single game tickets to drop. KU, like they're actively waiting for us to make single game tickets available. So if you want a home game, I'd buy tickets for that one or get season tickets so you can go get the 4 game package so you can go to Arrowhead. But I cannot deal with a stadium half full of Iowa State fans. I can't. I'll leave. I think you guys would be triggered too if you've been to the Big 12 tournament and if you've heard them at Hilton booing. We might have to just buy out the stadium. I might have to buy you one. I might have to buy them all. I'll tell you off. I'll text you after, Braden, but about that game. But yeah, uh, you guys will see unless we do something about it. But somehow our season ticket sales have barely went up. Back-to-back bowls would have won 10 plus games if even their QB2 was healthy. Somehow season ticket sales are barely fucking up. I don't know what they got to do. I know Lance is asking what they got to do to get more fans. Man. Yeah, they will. I I believe it too. I can feel a different confidence, the fan base, but I'm telling you, the Iowa State game, they will fucking fill that stadium up and they're ready to do it. They're calling every day. Ticket office. Single game tickets yet? Single game tickets yet? Because they're psycho. Yep. When and the fans will show. Just please buy tickets to that Iowa State single game tickets when they go on sale. Any of you, if you guys have money, buy 20 of them just so we can have them. I'll find a buyer for you. I'll find KU fans that want to go. I can't do that. I've heard enough about it the last 2 weeks about that game. I know it's the 8th game of the year, but God, they are just nuts. 29 people in here. Not bad. Questions? Football, JD, Dev, receivers, O line, defense, coaches, KU basketball, Chiefs, Royals. Let's do it, Braden. Love the field house. Yeah, if we want a bigger football stadium, this is the year. Fan support has never been more important than this football season. If you want a bigger stadium, we got to pull up. Arrowhead will be a great place to test that. 70,000 seats. If you want a bigger stadium than what the old booth was, let's go. Sevi. I don't know. I think Harry, I mean, I know Harry's had a good camp. They might just lean the upperclassmen with the experience who knows the playbook, but I kind of would like to see someone new with Harry, and he's going to be a part of the future, and they love him. Harry Stewart's going to be pretty good. I'd buy stock in him. You guys know about DJ, and I'd buy stock in Jalen Todd, corner. Same high school as Zeke Marshall, state champs. Who else? Austin Alexander. He'll eventually play at corner. John Kamara, buy all the stock. Won't play this year, but eventually. God, that guy could be so good. All-time Jayhawk duo since 2000, both football and b-ball. Where do you football and b-ball? Where do you put JD6? God, that's good. I'm just gonna start naming duos that I can think of, especially I don't know how many duos you can name football. I don't even know what position groups you'd use for duos. But Yeah, Nick and Kirk. Um, Aaron Miles and Big Dub were good. Cole and Sharon. T Rob and Tyshawn. Yeah, Reesing and Kerry Meyer. Reesing and Dez. Yeah, Dot and Doak in 2020. Um, yeah, for basketball, I feel like it's got to be a guard and a big, right? You can't really just say Och and CB. Like they kind of play the same position. They're both wings. 2012, Tyshawn, T Rob. Um, yeah, those would have to, I mean, Tyshawn, T Rob, Cole and Sharon, but I guess they never went deep in the tournament besides '08 when Cole didn't play much, but he helped along the way. '08, I don't even know. I mean, you could say the guards, but and then you have Shady and I don't know what guard you would take with the big. Like you got B Rush and Mario, Adonis Jordan and Rex Walters. Wow. Adonis Jordan and Rex Walters. I love that. Both of them, that's crazy you said that. We've talked to both of them about coming on the pod. We just haven't made it happen. We are in contact. Silvio in the chair. Great combo. Ain't no seats tailgate. We got to make something happen for the football games at home. I don't know what yet, and I want to do something NIL wise. Like I don't know if you guys have ideas, but maybe get like a restaurant or a Lawrence Staple to provide the food, and then a same thing with booze. Charge per head. All goes to the athletes NIL. Like I'd like to do something NIL related with the tailgate and have everyone around. I'd love to just all of us be in one group, like all KU fans. I don't even care if they don't like the pod, they don't like me. I just want to be around KU fans vibing. Vibing. That would be cool. Reasoning and Meyer, just the Mizzou play. When is Ain't No Seats hosting a 4-man scramble? We were going to do that this summer, but we didn't make it happen. Next summer has to happen. You guys got to be on my ass about that. We will do a golf tournament next summer. Probably NIL related. I always just want to get them paid. So let's think about doing a fantasy league for NIL. But yeah, golf tournament. Each person pays. We have a bunch of silent auctions. We have a bunch of guests, former players, current 50-50 raffle, and then play golf. Half of it goes to NIL. Maybe the winners get paid out. We'd have some dope ass auction items. I can guarantee you that. Yes, Eric. 50-50 raffle towards NIL. Yes. Golf tournament. If you guys would pull up, tell me. I think KU does a golf tournament, but like I talked to someone at KU about this and they were like, well, it takes too much effort and time to not make enough. It's like, what's not enough? Like plenty of KU fans would pull up if players are playing in it. Coach Self shows up, Lance shows up, one of them, and KU gets behind it. Like you could raise tens of thousands. That's not nothing. You do those types of events multiple times a year, that shit adds up. Justin Reed golf tournament. Yes, that's dope. We almost got him out to our sports card show this weekend. He's cool as shit. He's a very good guy. I like Jay Reed. Scramble, Matt, we'll do it. Promise. We're just lazy. KU Sports Alumni 3-on-3 tourney. That'd be fire. Because every football player at KU now or former thinks they're a hooper. Bro, I'm nice. No one can guard me. So yeah, that would be dope. 3-on-3. They'd put some squads together too. T Rob, Tyshawn, Mario Little probably would be a three. Mitch, Chris, you get Speed. Well, if they're not in the league, like Speed, Dite, and Malik, they'd murder. Dot Dope, Isaiah Moss, CB Oach. That wouldn't be fair. Gurley, yes, that dude, Greg Gurley. What a guy. He does love himself some golf. He gets to golf with Bill Self constantly. Jealous. He was at a scramble tournament recently with like all these ridiculous celebrities that I don't remember, but they're huge names. Like his life, like I wish I lived his life. Greg Gurley, and he gets to announce KU basketball games and played at KU. I love him so much. Coach John Darrell, college football 2025 tourney. Yes. Former KU basketball player you never met but wish you could. Oh my God. That's such a good question. I'm just trying to think of my favorite players. Embiid would be cool, I feel like. Just he's obviously a troll, big personality, one of the best players in basketball. Um, it would have been Keith. Finally met Keith. Scott Pollard. I mean, he seemed funny. He definitely doesn't like the home of the Chiefs chant at KU games. I can tell you that. But he seems very funny. Um, God, who are known as like characters that played for KU basketball? That Billy Thomas is cool as shit. Paul Pierce, I didn't really meet, but I was sitting next to him at a game, which was so random. But Paul was cool as shit, just like to everyone. It's not like me and him were having combos, but he was cool and he loved KU. Um, Scott, where does Scott Pollard live, guys? I don't think he lives here. His son is a pretty big football recruit, I think. He was on a visit here. Ozzy Pollard, I think is his name. Who were some former KU players that were known to be funny? Kirk Heinrich. I don't know if he's funny, but I heard he was kind of like a OG at KU. Like he was with the shit. Like I don't even know what he's doing. We tried to get a hold of him. Someone did get a hold of, like, he just doesn't want to do podcasts. Same with Nick Collison, which is nothing against them. Like some people just don't want to do it. It's tough to get guests, really. Yeah, Scott Pollard, Ostertag. I feel like he would be funny. Gurley told us some funny Ostertag stories. Jacques Vaughn, maybe, just because he's an NBA coach, and that was like everyone's old. Yeah, we actually AB saw Nick Collison in person and asked him, and he was just like, "Yeah, I don't do pods." Like he was cool. He just doesn't get on podcasts. That's plenty of those hoopers. Like there's guys that we and a lot of KU. I'm not holding us to any standard. A lot of they just won't do. They don't do pods, which is cool. Kirk, yeah, Kirk. Like someone told me, Kirk just goes to his kids' swimming meets, and so he sees him there. But he's pretty low key, and he'd be really. He. I don't think we can get him, but I'd love to meet Kirk. Nick is pretty just to himself. I think doesn't say much, um, which is cool too. Just chill, laid back guy. I would. I got with Drew Gooden in Vegas last year. He is cool as shit. OG Drew. Just trying to think of those early O2 teams because that's like what I grew up on. Jeff Boshi was my basketball coach growing up. We still talk decent amount. Head coach at Pitt State. Trying to think of those teams. Kenny Gregory. I don't know what he's like. That'd be cool. I loved him growing. That's probably the first KU player I knew. I'd like to meet him. Braden, DT seems so chill. Devontae's like not even. I mean, you guys have heard the shit about Devontae. He's just he's like one of the greatest humans in the world. It's I don't know. It's crazy. Like he is such a good person. It's literally insane. Hmm. Never met Danny Manning. Be cool to meet Danny. He's probably a chiller. Evan's cool as shit. I love Evan. Yeah, great. And the Austin weekend, like, because Serge Abari Rice was there, and like they're both with the Spurs, and like Serge Abari just loves Devontae. All of his team, like everywhere he goes, he's like tight with all his friends or all of his teammates. Like New Orleans, he was cool with all those dudes. Um, Charlotte, San Antonio, like he's just a normal, down to earth person. Like if you were with him for a couple minutes, you'd be like, yeah, he just makes you, I guess, makes you feel comfortable. And he really, like, he just genuinely cares about people. Frank Mason, there was like one of my good friends actually he trained him for a while, but trained him in Lawrence, especially senior year. Like Frank was training so much that senior year when he won National Player of the Year that Bill told Frank, like, you got to chill. Like that's how addicted to the gym and addicted to basketball Frank was. The guy didn't miss a shot entire senior year. So that was my connect to Frank, and he would always he'd try to get him on for us. I remember there was one day I'm literally just sitting at the house where I and AB are at work, and the guy, his trainer, texts me and goes, "Hey, Frank can do it right now." I was like, "Well, it doesn't really just work like that, but I'm sure it's fuck gonna try." And AB and Ryan weren't obviously able to do it. They were just at work, so I should have done it by myself, but never really met Frank. He's he was supposed to be at our event over the weekend. He's very laid back to himself. Nothing wrong with that. Pollard had the best call of all time. No, he called into 810. Pollard had the best call of all time to 810. Called Kevin Keatsman over the Tahoe Gate incident and straight roasted him. Just call me next time, Kevin, before you. I've heard Pollard. I mean, he's a character. There's videos of him on YouTube, and yeah, he's funny. Yeah. Thank you for coming. It was good to meet you too, and come on your podcast. Everyone, throw KC Sports Authority a follow. I was on their show a couple weeks ago. It was really fun. They had some elite questions for me, just like you did tonight. I have a tough time answering. We're gonna do one. We're gonna try to do a card memorabilia show every like semi-annually. So I don't know if you guys are into that stuff, but we're gonna try to get signers there all the time. So if there's any athletes you guys can think of that would be good for that, or you'd want to meet, let me know. Hopefully get DT there. I'm thinking about doing one during like All-Star break or like just a KU basketball weekend where they're at home. Get some of the current players to come after the whoa, pause. Get some of the former players to pull up after the game or that Sunday, something like that. Just they're in town, but All-Star break would be dope because CB, DT, all those guys usually come back. Does KU still have a sale on old equipment jerseys every year? Do you guys know the answer to that? I don't know. If you guys know, go ahead. Um, Still, I'm open to answer old basketball, old football questions, or current. If you guys have anything, what is the homecoming game? There you go. What how many subscribers are you guys at? We can't get to 1,000. We don't go enough though. Like we need some ideas for the off season. But I guess some people might have got in late. I think the plan we're doing this is the plan. Early next week, we're going to do a show with Carter Stanley, former KU quarterback, one of the most forgotten, underrated KU quarterbacks because he balled out with less. Going to come on the show, talk about this season. I was actually texting him earlier just about the offensive line and how we got to replace Nowitzki. We got to replace Pooney. So the plan is to have him on early next week. And then we still got to do our season preview with Mick Anderson. Don't know if that's going to happen, but we're doing a live show at Hollywood Casino next Thursday night. He's down to come on and be the guest. It just depends what time they want to do it because he has to do the radio stuff before the game. Hollywood mentioned 3 p.m., but I don't know the exact time. Haney could come on. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna try to talk to I'm trying to try to get a hold of like Goff and see if they want to stop by, meet fans, get them hyped for the season, talk about attendance. I don't know who else. Who else would be a good guest, guys? Next Thursday at Hollywood. I'm not gonna get a current player because they're gonna be warming up, and I don't even want them thinking about anything else. We could get a former player, but I'm trying to think of one that's in the area or is going to be in town. We could try to get someone that is affiliated with the program. Yeah, we could get Gurley, and yeah, he's really affiliated with the athletic department. Just trying to think football wise, really. I mean, obviously basketball, he goes to all the games and he's in the athletic department. So Gurley could be. Yeah, Pooney should be the starting right guard for the 49ers, who that was like their biggest need was right guard. And he goes there defending NFC champs and is starting as a rook. That'll be a good recruiting tool for KU. Yeah, Keon is a good one. I'll probably talk to Keon. It'd be a no-brainer for them to pull up. It's just I don't sometimes I feel like they don't embrace us or I don't know. I don't know if they want to do it, but if people pull up and there's fans there, why not? Come talk about the collective. Come talk about the season. Come talk about how to donate. I mean, they'll give you if you start donating, they'll give you access to the programs and benefits. Like it's not just throwing your money away. Daryl Stuckey, yeah, he's around the program. Works for KU, I believe. I wonder where Jake Sharp lives. He's got to live in Kansas. Look, if you guys think of some guests, Keon for sure. BMAC. I'd like to have multiple, honestly. Just mix them in and out. I spoke with him a few weeks ago at Boys and Girls Club softball game. He said they want to get more vocal about what they do. We'll have to hit me up after this. We'll talk about it. We'll see what they want to do, but it hasn't been very easy for me. Talking to Keon about how effectively talking to Keon about how to effectively grow small dollar NIL donation. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'm constantly trying to throw ideas, get them involved with whatever. I mean, we're not this big podcast. We're not like a huge pod, but it's a KU strictly pod. So people that listen to it are KU fans. There's millions of KU fans. There's probably some that don't know how to donate or don't know what the benefits are to donate. Why not come on here and talk about it and get it out to more people? It's no brainer. Tehan, yeah, I think he's in the area. He's definitely in the area. There's got to be a bunch of KU people just sitting in the area next Thursday waiting to go to the game. So I hope they stop by. Local celebs, that'd be really cool. I wonder how I could get a hold of those Paul Rudd, Rob Riggle, Jason Sudeikis. That'd be a dream. Sudeikis with the soccer stadium, who knows? Maybe they'll do something funny just because of the Ted Lasso shit and he's a KU fan. I don't know how to get a hold of them. Gurley would be my avenue there. I'll blow up Gurley's phone tomorrow. Don't you worry. Haney too. I talked about that. Haney with the radio stuff. I wonder how early he has to go. But he would definitely be at our thing. Definitely be there if he has time. He's amazing. Brian's great, man. Anyone that doesn't have love for him, I don't know, because he's probably the greatest, one of the greatest humans I've ever met. Everyone at each football game should give $1 before pregame. Adds up. That's why, yeah, do QR codes, do tailgates where people can donate, get the word out more. God, there's ways. I hate to say it, but I would look at what KSU and ISU do or have done to effectively reach those donors. KSU and ISU fans will, and I'm not saying KU doesn't, because they do, but God, those two universities love, their fans love their teams. They'll travel to fucking Anchorage, Alaska for a bowl game and once again, I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying they love their universities. And yeah, those donors are going to give. We got some pretty big donors. Our fans are great. I just feel like we're not all the way there with football. We've been burned so much. I get it, but God, Lance is good. No one can do what he's done. Yeah, Haney and Gurley know a lot of people. Any walk-ons looking good? I haven't asked, or I can ask Jason. I'll find that. I'll find out that and the kicker thing. And then when we go live early next week with Carter, hopefully, because that guy loves KU, I'll have those. If you guys have anything you want me to try to find out before we record next, let me know. Let's do it. I'll try. I'm not like the most plugged in guy, but sometimes I can hit people up who hit people up and figure things out. Or Bry will find out, or if you're in Vern Scoops, he'll find out. The Town Hawk says Venmo. Dude, yeah, anything. These players make like let's say let's say DJ Warner has 3 sacks against Lindenwood, and everyone's looking his name up, going to his social media, super hype, like, God, we got this freshman that is a baller. Everyone knows NIL is a thing. How do we get him paid? Like, why not have like a direct way to just pay DJ or any of the players that make big plays? I don't know. Stubbs, the Cahoon kid, yeah, that's awesome. Quentin Skinner, are you asking for walk on? I don't know, but our offense is nice. I'm feeling good, boys. Double digit wins. They won 9 last year with some bad luck. The one legit loss is Texas. We were in it, late third. The other 3, those were coin flips, the definition of coin flips. Oklahoma State, Jason Bean was unbelievable in the first half. Tech, lose Bean. K-State, Ballard starts. We do crazy shit, so somehow lose. Now everyone's back besides Book and Pooney. Everyone came back. Nowitzki, we lost. Lose Rich, lose Craig Young. Whole secondary's back. There's not going to be much fall off anywhere. Maybe linebacker, but it's not like Rich Miller was like world beater. He was just probably the leader of the defense. Now you got Cornell there. JB Brown's been good. I'm scared about the depth there. He played with Avery at Mays. Yeah, I knew about Avery early. He was a hooper. All my boys from Wichita have been hyping him up forever. And Dot dated his sister. So I remember Dot telling me about Avery. Literally, like when he was a freshman. I was like, and then he signs to K-State. Now we got to deal with him. That dude's athletic as shit. That boy getting paid. Yeah, Cornell Wheeler. I'm excited. Open Doors. Yes, thanks for saying this. Open Doors has great stuff for NIL, but most fans aren't aware how it works and what they can request from a player. So this is what I got to say about Open Doors. I was at the NIL event this week, and they were there, and I had no clue what it was until like a month ago when I was trying to get people to this event that we just did, and actually didn't end up working because all the basketball players are out of town. But you can get on Open Doors. It's an app or website. You can get on Open Doors and literally search any player at KU, any player probably at any university. But I was typing in random names, and all of them pop up. And then drop arrow. There's like 10 different things, whatever, 5 different things. I don't know, but you can request like autograph signing, like a shout out, an appearance, and there's fees and the price for all of them. So I salute Open Doors, and as much as I care about NIL, and I somehow didn't know about this until I was told a month ago when I was looking for guests. I would assume there's a ton of people who don't know what Open Doors is. So if you guys even just want to donate or just want to meet a player or have them out to your work or have them for an event, you can get on there and offer them whatever, or there's a select price for all of it. And it's, I mean, to me, the prices were insanely fair. So I would get on Open Doors if you ever want to do something NIL. I'll obviously donate to the collective too, Mass Street Collective, but Open Doors, there's options, and then you communicate with the player too. You offer something, they can accept it, decline, but if they accept, you're in communication with them. But yeah, I would use that if you guys want to do something with them. They definitely, I don't know, I'm sure they're doing fine, but I wonder if there's ways for them to get their name out there more because I didn't know about it. I don't know how new it is, but they had someone at that NIL event, and I think it's great because, like I said, the prices are really fair. They're almost like too cheap to where I don't even know if they would accept some of them, but maybe it's like a starting point. I haven't really done much on there, haven't gotten in contact with anyone, but you guys should check out Open Doors just for the hell of it, even if you don't use it. Like go search Jalen Daniels on Open Doors and go see the prices for like an appearance, or go to Devin Neal. Like his stuff is crazy cheap. And Devin just loves helping in the community too. Like if you guys, yeah, I would use that and literally search any player on our team. Rylan Griffin, AJ Store, Dewan, any sport. Samaya Nichols is on there. Tried to get her to the event. That's definitely another avenue for NIL. I'm trying to learn more and figure out more. Will Jared Casey have a bigger role this year? I don't know. I don't think he's like the number one. I think Trevor Cardell, but I'm sure Casey will be on the field, and you can rely on that guy. I'll go to war with him. Football, basketball, women's basketball, volleyball. Ask about old players, old teams from any sport. Probably not any sport, but basketball, football, certain athletes, certain coaches. Any questions? Still got 25 people in here. I'm down to keep going. You guys got me all fired up. Yep, KU basketball or KU baseball, new coach, volleyball's ranked. About to have fun. KU basketball should be preseason one. Yawn. Himself got us spoiled. KU football. That's all I care about at the moment. We'll get to basketball. And Royals. Jesus. Royals 2 games back in the Central. 35 games left. 20% of their games are against Cleveland. Richard Scott. Who's Richard Scott? Is this bad? That's funny. Richard Scott. God. Senior year. Senior year, I hadn't been born yet. Averaged 13 a game as a senior. We had some good teams with Roy. God, Roy not winning a title here is crazy. Dude, I was born in 94. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of Richard Scott. Those were like the What days were those? Yeah, I guess he was with Rex and Adonis. Well, like I and Woodbury. Everyone loves. He's a Kansas kid, Steve Woodbury. People love him. Gurley. We'll have to ask Gurley about Richard Scott. Rex Rex Walters too is like a last I saw he was an assistant coach in the NBA, and I had been talking to him for like a week about coming on the pod, and I think I'm the one who fumbled the bag on that one. Something's wrong with my brain. Who cares? Adonis Jordan. Alonzo Jameson is the other one, not Adonis Jordan. Alonzo Jameson is who I talked to about coming on the pod. He was more than down. I think that one is on me too. He should have been on here by now, but I'm psycho. Adonis or Alonzo. Alonzo and Adonis. Downtown Terry Brown. Dude could throw it. Throw it. Who are we talking about? Throwing it down? Oh boy. I'm old. I'm getting old. I'll be 30 in a couple months. God, it's crazy. Roy absolutely deserved one. I don't care. I can make a case for 2002 being one of the best, at least most talented teams KU history, because it's literally '03 with Drew and Jay Boshi's one of the best shooters in KU history, Big 12 history. So you had the same team '03, but with Jay Bo and Uncle Drew. And then 97, 97, probably the best KU team ever. And then '03, '03, like that's Roy's championship. We can talk about 97, '02, '98, whatever. '03 game was over. If you make free throws, you fucking fuck. 12 for 30 from the free throw line. I lose by 3. 12 for 30. Pisses me off. Yep, calls. I mean, I don't even remember how many Collison missed. 12 for 30, dude. What is that percentage wise? 40%? Yeah. If you go, I mean, 16 for 30 is bad. You win the game, you do that. We're about 2.5 hours in. You guys have anything for me to go on a rant about? Can be anything KU related or Kansas City. God, we kicked the shit out of Marquette. They had Diener too. He was pretty good. I mean, Keith got screwed, foul trouble in '03 too, and in '04. Keith got fouled out in '04 trying to go to three straight Final Fours. Three straight Final Fours. J.R. Giddens hits three. It's Georgia Tech and St. Louis. Keith fouled out on some bullshit. Yep, that was just terrible. God, I just 2022 made up for a lot of shit, but man, they should have so many more national titles. I mean, even for like the 2010, 2011, those two teams, like for those two not to not even make the Final Four, And then people sleep on 13. Like we had that game. I don't even say what game, but all of our guys were we had a lot of seniors back from 12. We were a 1 seed, and Benny Mack was one of our better freshmen. 16, 17, 8, or 16 and 17. Nova, Oregon. Anything else, boys? 2 hours, 20 minutes of one guy talking. That's pretty cool. I don't think, yeah, it's pretty. 24 people still in here. RIP Kobe Bean. Anyone got anything? Football, basketball, Roy Williams, Coach Self, Leipold, Charlie Weiss, Turner Gill, Les Miles, Mangino, former athletes, John David Booty, Bill Whittemore. Bill, how is Bill's health? Bill feels great. He looks great too. No home. He looks great. He's very like I really think the health scare, as scary as it was, like will keep him at Kansas longer. Like I do believe that. Like if there was no health scare to ever occur or come up, I think he I think he would have been gone. The the plan, at least what I know, was to leave after Dewan. Dewan's like his little son. He's obsessed with Juan, and Bill always said he wasn't going to coach until he's old. So that he told people that, and now I don't see. There's no way. Like I think that revived him. He said it did too to the public, and I think that'll keep him here for longer than it would have. Like maybe end up getting 5+ extra years than we would have. Yeah, he looks great, and it was a wake up call for him. He looks. I don't know. Did you guys see the pictures of him at KU football practice? Maybe it was just I don't know. He looks like he's lost weight and he looks good. Nice. KU baseball. Crushing the portal. That'd be KU baseball this season. Matt, I will absolutely try to do that. It's just one of those things like I don't know. I guess I never was taken to games and I was never like raised or taught to be a KU baseball fan, I guess. Like it just hasn't obviously I want them to do well and do good. I don't know. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about, but I wasn't raised going to games. I never was tapped in or had a yeah, I mean, I'm down to talk KU baseball. I probably am gonna need a co-host because AB and Rye ain't getting on here to talk KU baseball, I'll tell you that. But yeah, new coach, things have changed. So yeah, let's do it. Hi boy. Thank you. Oh boy. Um Give away some KU football tickets throughout the season too, I'm sure. I don't know how expensive they're gonna be or what, but we gotta get you guys in there. More the better. Let me know if there's anything you guys want me to try to figure out. Jesus. All right, I was just looking at the time, how long this pod's gone, and imagine someone getting on YouTube tomorrow and seeing 2 hours and 30 minutes and being like, nope, I'm good. We'll see. I'm sure Iowa State fans will have fun with what I was saying earlier about them coming to Arrowhead because you boys be ready. I'm just saying that. If you're going to the Iowa State game, I don't know if you need if drunkenness, if drinking alcohol settles you down, do that. If it makes you be aggressive and get in fights, like some people I know do that, it's pretty wild. I'm sure you guys have friends like that get aggressive and like to fight. But if you're going to the Iowa State game, be ready for about, I don't even want to guess how many fans they'll have, but that'll be fun. AB for dinner. God, I don't know. He doesn't even, I feel like he doesn't answer those questions even when you guys ask him in here. So I don't even have a good idea on what is like usual or what he will eat. Like, I don't know if, I wonder if AB cooks. Maybe he makes gourmet meals. And I don't really know what he eats when he eats out. I might have to just find out and let's have him keep a schedule of what he eats every night. Game day spread segment for AB. That would be fun. You guys, yeah, if you ever have any segments for us, let me know because that'd be fun. We gotta have more ideas, be more creative. Need like a team. Any chance Iowa State is out of contention and saves their money? I feel like there's been years where they, maybe I'm wrong, but Big 12 tournament where they weren't a high seed and they still show up. I feel like there's a year where they won the championship doing that. Like they weren't great. Like Eric, I'm telling you, they are calling KU all day, every day, trying to buy tickets for this game. I'm not. I'm not just saying that. They are calling, calling, calling. How do I get tickets? Once they go on sale, they'll be gone quick. Hopefully, our fans buy season tickets or tickets to that game. I can't deal with it. He didn't eat, still playing NCAA. He did say last night, when we talked on the phone last night, AB said he needs to go live and play the rest of the KU schedule. So maybe that's coming. I'll make him do one like, I don't know, Sunday. I can't see doing Friday night or you guys wanting to be on here on a Friday or Saturday night. So Sunday. Sports trivia. Yes. We actually talk about that all the time. We just don't do it. Like that, we're really good at that. We'll come up with ideas and brainstorm and throw shit in the group text, and then we don't do it. That's it. That's what we're best at. Good for us. Look at us. But like one of Ryan's best friends is like a KU freak, like obsessed. So he's always wants us to record more and he can come up with the trivia questions. So it's just about when we actually do it. Jesus. Oh, anything else, boys? Anything else? Live show Next Thursday night, Hollywood Casino. Early next week, live. Maybe we'll go live. Would you guys want us to go live with Carter or just record with Carter and put it out? Or would you guys want to like ask him questions on live? I need feedback on this one because I guess we could. We might not be able to go live if he says something crazy or if we ask something crazy that he doesn't want to answer. What? What? I'll ask him. I'll just see what he wants to do. But I'm going to plan on Monday because I want to get it out as early before football season as we can to where he can go. I don't think he can do this weekend. Monday. Let's shoot for Monday. I'm saying Carter, Stanley, Monday. Maybe Sunday night. I'll blow his phone up. But Carter's so cool. Loves KU. So that'd be fun. And he's very pumped for the season like all of us. If you guys have any questions, I guess follow me on Twitter, bturner23. Shoot me a DM or Instagram or whatever. I don't know how to open my DMs, but let me know if you guys have any questions for the next like 20 seconds. I'll answer them, but chat, I think it's dying, and I've talked probably too much for you guys. But there's 27 in here, so if you guys want to ask anything, let me know. If not, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking to town. That's I don't know if him talking about Beatty would be best for him. You guys would probably laugh and you guys would really enjoy it, but I just can't get him. I can't get him in trouble. But he's had some stuff to say there. Maybe we get him live and you guys ask a question and we'll pin it on the screen. And if he doesn't want to answer it, he doesn't answer it. We'll go to the next one. We can get a no comment. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah, Beatty is a I don't know. I never met him. I don't know much about him, but didn't use him well. Beatty blocked me on Twitter. I've heard he did block a lot of people. Rock Chalk, thanks for the podcast. Thanks for being in here, Jason. Next week, 6 days and counting till Lindenwood. Yeah, we could frame. We ask him about the new staff. I mean, God, they're all gonna rave. Everyone's gonna rave about this staff. That started pretty early when they got on campus, though, and I felt personally like it wasn't just them spewing or saying bullshit. Like I really, the way they said it and their facial expressions, like I believed it, even though I am a diehard. So maybe that was it. That's fucked up, Cards. All right. You guys got anything else? I've probably said this for the last hour, though. Picks, Matt. Picks for the game. What do you mean by that? Picks for the game beforehand, like the Lindenwood game. Uh, you mean like the whole podcast or just like what I like? Yeah, I'm down to do. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched it all last year, but I got into a little routine of interviewing like a beat writer or just reporter from the other team we were playing. And I plan on doing that this year. I don't know about Lindenwood because like I don't know. I don't know how to find a Lindenwood football. But I did that for every game. Some people liked them, but it's just gonna be me doing it. So I want to do that again, but if people don't like it, then maybe it's a waste of time. Yeah, betting angles for sure. I'll probably talk about that stuff more on here and Twitter. I don't think KU likes the betting stuff very much. Like when we tweet about anything KU betting related, just some of the higher ups or coaches, players, I don't think they really like that. But I still will definitely tweet some stuff. Get the bet on football soon. Saturday college football. All right, boys. I'm probably gonna wrap it up. 2.5 hours. Laptop is on 4%. Next Thursday, live show at Hollywood Casino. Early in the week, show with Carter. Hopefully, maybe a show with BMAC. Love you guys. Thanks for being in here. Elite questions, comments. I needed you guys. You showed up. Thank you. Bye.